This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
Could they, at number 20, draft a running back? How many running backs on your board right now would qualify for the Broncos at number 20?
Maybe only one.
Really?
I know a lot of people. Well, again, maybe, Gente, I think for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hampton is a guy, I've got guys in the league telling me he's the top 15 player on their board, but, would a team take him there? It's always the pure grade versus the value of the position and all that. The issue in the running back in the draft is this is an awesome class. You would not have to go at 20 to get a guy who could walk in and contribute. I think all the way down through the second and third rounds, they're going to be running backs who could walk in as rookies and participate and have impact in the Broncos offense. And, I think a guy like Sampson from Tennessee and I think Etienne from Georgia are two guys that would interest them down the board a little further that you wouldn't take at 20, but they're going to come in and do things for you as soon as they get here.
What do you think of Devin Neal, the running back from Kansas?
Yeah, no, he breaks tackles. Running back coaches love that kind of guy because he gets through the first tackle, an awful lot. And I just think of this, if it was any other year, he might be a guy we're talking about, but he may not be in the top 10 running backs of this class.
Wow.
Just because it's so deep. I mean, you're talking – this is the best class of running backs I think I can remember ever. I'd have to go back and really dig through the binders, but this is a really, really good class of running backs, and I will be stunned if they don't take at least one of these guys because it's too good to pass on.
The Altitude Daily, the morning sprint.
Another national television loss for the Nuggets, and this one at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that team coach, they've got your money. I told you I'm not making any proclamations based off of game-to-game basis with these Nuggets. I've learned my lesson. But something I can take out of that, avoid Minnesota at all costs. They are not a good matchup.
How long have we been saying that here on this show, Raj?
Quite a while.
They're the only team in the National Basketball Association, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, that you do not want to play as the Denver Nuggets.
I wouldn't say the only team, but
I do. Show me another team that the Nuggets have not matched up well with this season in any capacity.
I know they're 2-2 against Oklahoma City. I don't want to see them.
I do. More than 5 in a row against a team like
there's something about that loss, dude, in Game 7, those last 20 minutes. It feels like what the Avs had to battle through when they were losing 3 straight second-round series, where it just felt inevitable that you were going to find a way to lose, whether it was injuries or Kiwi Ranta coming in and having a hat trick in his first career playoff game, Ryan Graves throwing pucks into guys' shin pads back-to-back times, and then Vegas comes back when the series should have essentially been over at that point. Minnesota, that one quarter, and maybe you can go back to the blowout loss in Game 6 as well. They've got something over you. There is some sort of witchcraft that's happening. I know it's a bad matchup, but there is some sort of witchcraft that I think they've broken the Nuggets. We talk about the Nuggets and the Lakers, right? Over the past 4 years that you've just owned them. There's something mentally that Denver has over LA. This last game that, JJ Redick employed his Bletchley Park type of defense against them is
I really don't give a
Thank you, JJ. You've got something over the Lakers. Minnesota's got something over you. And I think it's completely mental. I don't buy the fatigue nonsense from last night. You had a night off.
Nope.
I don't buy that at all. This is mental.
The Altitude Daily. Columbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
Let's start with Cooper Kupp. What can you tell us about the teams that he may be considering and why the Broncos are one of them?
Well, I think that he's going to have a lot of teams interested in him. And the question will be, honestly, how much teams want him, right? Because there are going to be any number of teams that want him. And it's one thing to want a guy, but that comes through in the contracts that are offered, the numbers that are offered. I don't know how aggressive Denver is or isn't going to be on Cooper Kupp. I think they'll be in the mix. I don't know if they're going to be real strong. We'll see. I would expect there'll be other teams, Seattle, New England, Jacksonville, whoever else. I don't know the exact list. I'm sure he's going to talk to Denver. I'm sure Denver's going to talk to him. Are they going to be able to get a deal done? Let's see how far Denver is willing to go. I don't know the answer to that.
And the real fascinating thing with Cooper Kupp is going to be what's going to cost, because I think there's people out there who think he's going to be a whole lot cheaper than he might be. All it takes is 2 or 3 teams, and those numbers get back up there, right?
What's your guess, Tyler? Because I had somebody ask me this afternoon. What's your guess on the number?
I would like to think it would be between 8 and 10.
That's funny. That's funny you said that, because somebody asked me, and I said 10, and it might be a little high, but because I think there will be enough interest and his name value, I think the money will get up to 10. It might be 8. So what you said is exactly what I told this person.
So let's say it's 8, and all the teams that he's highlighted are interested. Now becomes how much is it guaranteed and how much is it cash front loaded? And
of course, like always, Scott.
And if it's a legit bidding war, then you've got an ownership that can front cash loaded, can't they?
I don't think this is one of those bidding wars for Cooper Kupp. I just think he's going to get a bunch of offers. Some will be a little higher than he wants. Some will be a little lower than he wants. I'll say this. I think if Cooper Kupp had his way, I think he would like to be in Denver. I think that'd be one of the places that would appeal to him. That I would say. I feel comfortable in saying that. Whether Denver's offer, if Denver's even interested, is going to be competitive enough with some of the offers is a whole other thing. If it gets 8 to 10, I'm going to guess Denver's not there. But if it's a little lower, I could see Denver being interested. Now, could they decide all of a sudden, you know what? Okay, it's at 8. We're at 5, 6. Let's go up $1 million. Sure. Again, I'm making a lot of inferences that I don't know, right? But we're giving you hypothetical scenarios. My guess is the number's going to be 8 to 10, depending on how much interest he gets. Just like Tyler said, I thought 10. Tyler said 8 to 10. It could be 8, could be 9, could be 10. Maybe if there's enough teams, it gets up to 11, 12. That could be 2.
The Altitude Daily. Kretman and Lindahl.
What I don't like about what the Nuggets showed us last night, and again, you love to call it Meatball Andy shows up in all sports. But when you're beating the crap out of my guy, and it's a 15-point game or a 10 or whatever that was, and look, Nate, we knew in the fourth quarter they had a chance to get that thing close in the early part of the fourth quarter, and they didn't. And we had to spend 8 minutes knowing they aren't going to catch them. So at minimum, put in any big body. Like DeAndre Jordan ain't afraid of those dudes. Put him in the game. Have a couple hard. I'm at least going to wipe that smile off. I'm not saying cause a fight, but I'm going to hack you hard a couple times. You're going to grin about, there's one point where Naz Reid's grinning after they beat up Jokic. They put him in it looked like they're having a slam dance down there. I thought he was in a mosh pit at a metal concert in the Key with 3 guys around him, grabbing him, shoving him, doing whatever. Dude, go in there and hit one of them back with a foul. Hard foul Rudy Gobert. Hard foul Naz Reid. Hard foul Julius Randle. Like, the thing that upset me, Russell Westbrook showed he's not afraid to play hard nose, and he got in there. And even Jalen Pickett a couple of times shoved his big booty and tried to get Julius Randle off his game. Somebody do something to wipe at least a little of the smirk off their face about it. That's what drives me nuts.
I don't think DJ's that dude.
All right,
I don't think
then tell
I don't
Sarge,
think DJ's,
I don't care. Find a dude. Somebody be the dude.
You want the Nuggets to reincarnate Bill Laimbeer, basically.
You know what? Rick Mahorn, I don't care. Hell, pull Hastings is on the sideline. Put a damn jersey on him. I don't care. Just somebody show Nikola we've got your back, though, Nate. Just somebody show Nikola, yes, there is some help here for you. And I realize that guy would be AG and he's not out there. But come on, you can't tell one. Maybe you can't. But for me, I just would like to see at least one hard foul, couple hard fouls that says, no, You want to play messy? We'll play messy. Or if they're going to go and hard foul the guards early in the game, go hard foul them back. Don't cry to the refs. Give it right back to them. But instead, the Nuggets just get shoved around constantly, and nobody does anything about it. And guess what? Other teams do it too.
This team has we've watched it, and really we've watched it in recent weeks. I would go back to the Laker game when they lost that game at home. I'd go back to the Milwaukee game. Certainly, I'd go to the Boston game. This team gets out-physicaled. They have consistently been out-physicaled. Aaron Gordon hasn't been himself, and they have gotten out-physicaled out on the floor. Now, while I appreciate your bloodlust, that won't happen. It comes down to being able to match them by playing the game physically, by defending physically. There's nothing you can do, I think, to reduce the physicality of your opponents. I think what the Nuggets have to do is match the physicality of their opponents, and then I think they'll have a better chance to be able to win these games. I also think that a good way to be able to beat some of this physicality, especially when it is constantly a beehive of players around Nikola Jokic, is to, I don't know, knock down your friggin' threes.
You've been listening to The Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com @Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.